Yeah, let me get that. Yeah, fuck it. Let me get some. Sloggy. Yeah, let me get. Yeah, fuck the shot for water.
You thirsty, sir?
Yeah, let me also get a water. Or kind of, let me get a water. All right. All right. We're gonna get started. Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shalom Yahweh Thumb by Hashem Yahweh. All brothers, all the sisters, right? All blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? All right. Who are God's chosen people. Right? This is who we bring out this truth to, right? We talk to our brothers, we talk to our sisters who are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, who, you know, generationally, right? Basically, we were stripped out of our true identity, right? Not only our true identity, but out of our God, and we're giving other gods, right? Now we serve, you know, Allah, Buddha, you know, Caesar Borgia, who you know as, or it's like who you think you know as, Jesus Christ, right? That image, that white image, right? I gotta say white. It's like we could say white, right? Caucasian, Salaki. The Caucasian image, right? The um, colonizers, right? That came over here and they brought that image with them, thinking that that's our savior, our only savior, right? But really, our savior is a black man from the tribe of Judah, right? By the name of Yahawashai, Mashiach, right? The deliverer and the anointed, right? So Yahawashai meaning deliverer or savior. Mashiach meaning um, anointed, Salakia, right? So that's our king. Our king is a black man, right? Right. We don't worship any other image, right? We worship the Most High God, right? But our king is Christ, right? That's our king, right? And we're gonna touch in a look, right? We're gonna go into some scriptures on brotherhood, right? Give me Luke 6:31, if I could. Give me Luke chapter 6, verse 31.
Luke chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
Right. Do thee unto them likewise. Right.
Christ too is right.
Right. Exactly. Also, it's Christ speaking. Right. Which and how do you know that? Because it's written in red.
Right.
Right. To let you know is Christ speaking. So it's an order from Christ. Right. So this is Christ speaking, letting you know, our King Yahushua, letting you know that don't treat other brothers the way you would want to be treated. Right? You don't want to treat another brother, you know, wrongfully. You don't want to, you know, aggressively grab him, like, you know, by the shirt, like, hey, can you come over here? Like, you know, do none of that, right? Like, what you want to do is, you know, talk to the brother, right? Talk to the brother. First of all, you want to you want to make sure you also get along with your brother. So the first thing you want to do is your approach with the brother. It don't, how do I say it? Don't how do I say this? Right? It's like it. What you want to do is make sure you treat that brother the way you would treat your family, right? Because when we come in here, this is what it is, right? It's a family, right? We all family in here, right? And you don't want to treat a brother that comes in here like a stranger, right? Keep going.
Verse 32. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them.
Right. For sinners also love those that love him, right? Meaning what? Read that again from the top, if you could.
For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them.
Right. So sinners have those that love them, right? But guess what? In here, we gonna love each other, right? We ain't gonna be like the people in the world, right? They talk
Right.
all this, I love, I'm down to ride for my brother, I'm gonna die for my brother, right? When it comes to doing riding for my brother, I'm gonna be there right next to him, right? But at the end of the day, they gonna end up like 6ix9ine, and snitching on each other, right? Slack it. I mean, it is what it is, right? When pressure, when there's, that's the thing though. When there's so much pressure, of you know, it's either you get to go home, or you're gonna suffer. At the end of the day, in the world, nobody wants to suffer for their own brother. That's why we say the truth in here. That's why we tell. That's why when we come out and say the truth, everybody wants to fight us about it, right?
Right.
And nobody stands behind that, right? Nobody wants to stand behind Christ coming for only Israel, right? They want to stand behind Christ coming for everybody. Christ coming for that um the slave master, right? The oppressor, the colonizer, right? But they never want to go for that brother, the brother that was in bondage, the brother uh that was brought here in those slave ships, the brother that was lynched, the brother that was murdered, the brother that was raped, the sisters too, right? Nobody wants to stand behind those, but they'll rather join themselves with the other nations, right? Which just shows no brotherhood, which you lack brotherhood.
It's like they see no strength in the victim. Someone that's being raped and being victimized, they see no reward in standing with someone like that. They rather stand with the one that's doing the victimizing, because they think there's power in that. You know what I'm saying? They rather stand with the bully rather than the one that's being bullied.
No, that's true.
The bully, there's no power in his hand. With the bully, however, he has a little bit of power. So
It's because they wanna feel comfortable. They want it easy, they want to feed off of crumbs by begging, right? But over here, we don't beg for crumbs. In here, we work for our reward, which is righteousness, right? Which is true, and that's how, and which is following Christ, right? Bleeding for my own brother, man. Making sure I wake, I see your text, and call you right away. I'm not gonna see your text and not call you. It might be late, but at the end of the day, you my brother. How's it gonna look on me when I see your text? I'm like, man, I'm too tired.
right,
What if it's a life and death situation, and that brother needed it?
right.
I'm gonna call that brother back. And then you gon' and we gonna chop it up, and don't feel bad about calling any brother in here. I mean, that's our job, right? Make sure you do, call us, right? You call us whenever you feel like, you having some troubles, right? Call us. That's our job. We're here to serve you, right? We're not here to serve ourselves.
Right.
We're here to serve, you, the people, right? The flock, the Most High's flock, right? And that's what we do here, right? Is there any more on that?
Yes, sir.
Keep going.
Verse 33. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same.
Right. Keep going.
And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again.
Right. So drop down. So you could drop that. Give me Galatians 6:1. Go ahead.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 1. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness.
Right. Read that again.
Brethren, if a man be taken, Salakia, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one.
Right. Your brother having a problem, he having an issue, make sure you help that brother out. That brother is out of the spirit, right? Man, that brother had going through it. He's going through it, right? He's just, that the devil's really trying to, get to him, right? You want to make sure you support, you help that brother out. That brother needs some help, and every brother in here, can vouch for that. In one way, we've needed help. Can no brother do it alone? No brother can do it alone. I mean, come on. Christ even, had a, talk to the disciples, and asked them to pray for him, because what he was gonna go through was gonna go. It was gonna be a hard thing to do.
Right.
Imagine not seeing your brother. This being the last time to see your brother, but you have to go through it, right?
Knowing that knowledge, and sharing that last meal.
Right. Sharing that last meal, that last, conversation, the last drink, the last drink. Come on, like, yeah, how wish I drank. Imagine that. The last drink, man. Come on, Parag. You know this, right? You drink, imagine that. You sharing the last drink with your brother. It's just like, man, like, pray, like,
that's worse than other situations, because you have people that family members died without them even knowing that was last year. He knew that was the last year. He's living that moment knowing that this is it. This shit right here. You have people that your cousin was gonna die that night. So you ended up smoking, you was in that drive by, whatever. You didn't know.
Right.
He know he was gonna die. He know, you know what I'm saying? That was his last show. Yeah.
No, I mean you obviously know, because I know a sister that had a brother, right? But the thing is that this brother lost his mother, right? And the brother was dealing with some issues, and at the end it was just like, fuck it. So, like, excuse my language, but that's the type of attitude he had. Right. This is it. Whatever happens from here on, right? And you have family, right? You have family to back you up, but nobody really put too much attention, right? You noticed it, but did you actually, address that issue? You know what I'm saying? Like, did you, like, what was, how did you help the brother out? You didn't, right? You just let that brother do what he had to do. Why? Because, it's, I mean, you feel the same way, right? You feel like, oh, I mean, I would have done the same thing, especially in the world, right? I would have done the same thing. I felt the same way. Nah, man, what you want to do is you want to help that brother get his spirit back, man. You want to talk to the brother. You want to have what? Long nights, and with no sleep. Why? Because the brother is going through it, man. The brother's going through it, and he needs your help. Right? Restore that. What? Read that again.
Restore such an one in the spirit of meekness.
In the spirit of meekness, right? In the spirit of meekness, right? You want to make sure you give that brother his, that spirit that he needs, right? That's that spirit of Christ, right? You don't want to have that brother go through, get low, as into fall into depression, right? You don't want him to fall that low, especially when you can just cut that, because that really what it is he's fighting a demon, right? And you want to make sure you cut that demon at its core, at its youth, really, right? When it's barely trying to get in, let them know, like, you better than that, you good, you strong. What's your name? Boom. And then he comes back to himself, right? Especially when you tell a brother that. What's your name? Oh, okay. You know what? Oh, boom. All right. See, now, especially when you're in here, that's why it's very important when you come in here, you shed that man that you once were. And when you come in here, you're going to be put on a what? A new spirit, right? A new spirit to that spirit of Christ, right? To serve Christ, right? The spirit that is gonna help you, gain Christ. And you can't gain Christ being what? Being weak. You can't be with Christ when you destroyed, when you want to smoke weed, when you want to what? When you're trying to chase, tail, when you're trying to chase tail instead of helping your own brother. Like, why don't you just, help your own brother instead? Right? Your brother needs that. That woman, she got so many other men hitting her up. She don't need you, but that brother needs you, right?
Right.
You had something?
Wow, sir.
Okay, keep going.
Okay.
Considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Bear ye one another's burdens,
Right, bear one another's burden. Right, keep going.
and so fulfill the law of Christ.
And so fulfill the law of Christ. Right now, that's another thing that you're gonna be doing in here. Right, you're gonna bear each other's burden. Right. Imagine, don't nobody wanna lose sleep, but yet you're gonna have to lose sleep for your brother. Don't nobody wanna what? Give his last dollar for his brother to get gas, so he can have gas to come to class. But yet, you wanna get that money you know, to buy some weed or whatever, right? In the world. Right? If you in the world, not in here, right? In here, we're gonna give our last to our brother. Why? Because really, how am I gonna be doing good when you're not doing good? It doesn't look good,
Right.
right? It doesn't look good when I'm doing better than you. It's just we're not one body. You outside of this one, or it's like, yeah, it would really be me outside of this body. Why? Because you not doing good, right? And I see you, and I don't reach out to help you. That's me leaving the body.
Right.
That's me not being brotherly to my brother. That's me just, looking out for myself. Now you just selfish. Now you just outside. Now you what? You now you just separate. Right? You separated from your brother, right? When you're supposed to gather with your brother.
That's right.
You're supposed to break bread with your brother. You're supposed to, make sure you got your brother's back. Don't let your brother down. Like, that brother been through he been through a walk of life. He been through so much. I mean, now he can't trust you. Man, don't let it be another brother he can't trust, man.
Right.
Like, you want to be there for that brother. Keep going.
For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing,
Exactly. You think you're something. You think you're something with all that money. You think you're something with all that, with a whatever, right? Whether it be rank, money, you got a car and he's busting it. You think you something. Keep going.
he deceiveth himself.
You're deceiving yourself. You're really nothing. All that you have, and it's really nothing. It's vain, right? It's vain if you're not helping your brother. It's just, all that is not gonna get you nowhere. But what's gonna get you somewhere is gaining a friend, getting your brother, making sure your brother's doing good. And it's like this. How it's like a pillar. Like, imagine that pillar isn't strong enough. Right? You gonna make sure that pillar stays holding, right? But if you just worried about, yourself, then the whole thing's gonna fall. The whole house, all if one corner is not strong, then everything falls. This, especially if you work in construction, or if you've done some sort of work,
Right.
right? If you build, or if you ever try to build a house, or anything like that, if nothing can stand if everything's equally, solid. We all have to be solid together in this one body of Christ. Otherwise, it's not gonna stand, right? Keep going.
Verse 4. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things.
Right. Make sure you in communication with each other too. Right. Like I said, that phone call. I remember, especially what Yawasab said. Right. So Yawasab, you'll rather chase tail, right? You'll do everything for that broad, right? But you won't do nothing for your brother. You call her up, you texting, you all thirsty, trying to text her, slide in and DMs and everything, right? You add her on this page, on that page, making sure she, you have her attention. But for your brother, what are you gonna do? Right? What is it gonna take for you to make sure your brother's doing good? I mean, you try to make sure that woman is feeling good, right? Make sure that woman feels good. You compliment her on every little thing. Oh, you this, you that, but you can't compliment your own brother. Can't make sure your brother's doing good. Restore his spirit. Make sure he's doing good. And your brother falling, and it's and you see it happening, and you're not doing nothing, and you wicked for that. You disgusting for that, right? Go chase that tail then, and see how that woman's gonna put you on child support. See how that woman's gonna, oppress you. See how that woman's gonna sleep with your best friend that you thought was your best friend, right? You left the school and you got some new friends in the world. Now you think that's your friend, right? Your friend gonna be a traitor to you and your woman and your kids, right? Why? Because you chose that life. You chose to be selfish. Chose to be selfish and not love your brother as thyself. Moreover, you didn't choose to give up your life for your brother. You chose to save yourself, right? You chose to save yourself. You wanted to get yourself, this meat. Oh man, that's how you ain't never had nothing like that, right? You ain't never had nothing like that, right? So you're like, you talk about it, all this, and that. Oh man, that's nothing, man. Meat's gonna come. You just gotta be patient. My favorite scripture, right? James 1:4. Be patient in the wanting of nothing, right? Be patient in all things, wanting nothing, right? Like, don't just pace yourself, man. Don't be so quick. Don't be so, don't be so quick to, jump, right? More like what you want to do is help your brother, especially in the time, in this time right here that we're living in, right? We need every brother in here, man. We need every brother in here, right? Keep going.
Verse 7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Keep going.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
Right. Give me Ecclesiasticus chapter 8, verse 1. If I could.
It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 8, verse 1. Strive not with a mighty man, lest thou fall into his hands.
Slagia 28, verse 1.
Slagia. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 28, verse 1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord.
He that what?
He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord.
Keep going.
And he will surely keep his sins in remembrance.
Keep his what?
Sins in remembrance.
Why? Keep going. Verse 2.
Forgive thy neighbor the hurt that he hath done unto thee.
Right. Forgive the hurt. Right. Forgive your brother what he has done unto you. Right. Keep going.
So shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest.
When what?
Thou prayest.
When what?
Thou prayest.
When thou prayest. right? And this is like this is what we pray every Sabbath, right? Really, you should be praying this every day, right? What is it? Matthew's 10 and 5?
Gone.
Matthew's 10 and 5, right? Where, forgive our debts as we forgive our debtors, right? Forgive us what we've done, just like how we forgive one another, right? If you forgive your brother, right, then the Most High will forgive you. But if you don't forgive your brother, the Most High shouldn't forgive you. Why? Because you flesh. What are you? Keep going, actually.
So shall thy sins also be forgiven when thou prayest. One man beareth hatred against another, and doth he seek pardon from the Lord?
Right. One man hates another brother. And you asking the Most High for forgiveness? You hate your brother, but you asking the Most High for forgiveness.
Right.
Keep going.
He showeth no mercy to a man which is like himself, and
keep going.
Sloppy, sir. And doth he ask forgiveness of his own sins?
Right. Man, you flesh, right? You flesh, or it's like you a man, right? You a man just like the man that that you are. What did it say? Show no mercy to him. You don't give that brother any mercy, meaning you see the brother, right, and you don't forgive your brother, right? You still hold a grudge against your brother. You hate your brother, but yet you ask the Most High for some mercy. You ask the Most High for for forgiveness. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like it's hard for you to forgive a brother that live in the same ghetto as you. A brother in Section 8 as you. Getting food stamps, brother's being kicked out of his house, his girl cheats on him, his woman is kicking him out, calling police on him every other week. Same brother's having a hard time, he can't control himself, beating his woman. That same brother you can't forgive. Same shit you doing, even again living on the same condition that you don't do. But yet so you're asking the Most High to forgive you for your sins. And you can't forgive him for his.
Right. And another thing, it's like who the hell do you think you are? Right? Like who do you think, like, what do you think you really are? Right? You think you can't get touched?
Right.
Right? You really think you can't get touched? Right? The Most High, and this is beautiful what it's saying, right? And this shows real brotherhood too. And it's basically letting you know, man, look, forgive your brother, right? Forgive your brother. Just like how the Most High forgives you for being a disgusting or a wicked child, or being a corrupt child, right? Why won't you forgive your brother for that little, for that for that incident that you had with that brother, right? Why don't you forgive that brother? That brother, that brother's don't you think that's even enough? Like, if it wasn't even enough, the brother still had to basically, gets, gather himself together, make sure that he gets some courage to come up to you and ask you for some forgiveness. It takes a lot of strength for that, first of all. I mean, I don't think anybody, I don't know if anybody ever felt that, but when you go up to a brother and it's like you really thinking about it, right? All right, I'm gonna go tell him. Nah. You know what? I'll tell him tomorrow. It's like, nah. It's like, and then the next day comes. It's like, all right, you know what? I feel like it's time to tell the brother. You know what? I did such and such, and it's like you gonna watch. It's like, depending on how the brother might react, it's like, and then the brother is gonna have to forgive you. The brother's gonna have to forgive you. Why? Because, first of all, you pray to the Most High, don't you, for forgiveness? Then you have to forgive your brother too.
Right. That's the key to it.
That's the key. Like, you are in no position to not forgive your brother. I mean, like, what I mean by that is you are a man, just like he's a man, right? He made a mistake. I forgive that brother. I mean, what's so hard about coming together, right? Coming together with him, with your brother. Now it's going if it's hard enough to come together with your brother, it's gonna be hard. Even it's gonna be 2 times. It's like 100 times harder to get together with the Most High. Why? Because the Most High, it's not gonna forgive. It's like it's not gonna what? It's not gonna forget. Just like it said in verse 1, it says, "And will surely keep his sins in remembrance." He's gonna remember what you did. He's gonna remember what you did. Why? Because instead of forgiving your brother, you decided to what? Kill that brother. You decided to take actions into your own hands, right? Forgive the brother. Make sure you right with the brother, right? Don't let just one issue change your approach with the brother too. You know, make sure you stay with the brother in everything, right? Keep going.
Verse 5. If he that is but flesh nourish hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sins?
Right. Keep going.
Remember thy end, and let enmity cease.
Keep going.
Remember corruption and death, and abide in the commandments.
Right. And abide in the commandments. Keep going.
Remember the commandments, and bear no malice to thy neighbor.
And bear what?
No malice to thy neighbor.
Right. Remember the commandment. Right. What's the commandment? Keep going. So go ahead.
That's why I get started. Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Exactly. Give that. Right. Just like Christ said, look, the first is like the first is like the second is like the first, right? Love the Most High with all thy heart and all thy soul, and love thy brother as thyself, right? Make sure you make sure you get right with the brother. Don't let not one little thing, don't let this little situation that you have with that brother, change your guys' approach. It's gonna come. It's gonna, and not only that, but don't let it be, a constant thing where it's just like, oh, you're how do I say it? Right? It's like read that again.
Remember the commandments, and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the highest, and wink at ignorance.
And what?
Wink at ignorance.
And wink at ignorance. What does that mean? What?
To think nothing of it. Blink.
To wink at ignorance. Bo, explain, expand more on it.
Come out of work on. Like if you're a brother who's seasoned in the truth, and a new brother comes in, and they're going to have a lot that they think that they know that is wrong, and that you also know they don't know. They're not sure of. They're just talking because they're excited and they're on fire. For
Right.
every ignorant thing that they say, think nothing of it. Just blink.
Right. Just like more so is like, don't be so harsh on the brother. Like, don't be like a tyrant. Like, don't be like, hey, what did I like? Don't you know not to talk? Like, no, don't be like that. Like, hey, it's like, just can you raise your hand next time? The water, right? Like even for like sisters that come in, right? Sisters might, especially a brother that comes in, like a brother's very enthusiastic about learning. The brother wants to learn, the brother wants to, he wants to gain, knowledge, right? So he's gonna be talking like, Khan, like, or he's gonna be, overexcited, right? The first time how you felt when you first heard, when you first came into class. So it's gonna be the same way, right? Like, you didn't know, now that brother doesn't know either. Make sure you treat the brother just the way you were treated. Like, make sure you treat that brother with, with respect. Like, you make sure you patient. It's like, that's the word. Make sure you patient with the brother. The brother's gonna come in. He's gonna get it. He's gonna learn. He's gonna get a couple of checkings, right? But before he gets to that point, let him come into class, Yeah, if you want to be a trooper, you got to be dressed in all black. First, he's gonna hear you ain't gonna tell him nothing, right? Because he's gonna hear the announcements. Boom. All right. Comes again. Comes again. He comes like for already a month, right? Yeah. If you want to be or it's like I say 2 weeks, right, or a week. Boom. Right. I would say me personally, I would just be like, yeah. If you want to be a trooper, right? If you want to be a trooper in the school, meaning if you want to continue being in the school, or it's like if you want to be a trooper in the school, you have to make sure you dress in all black, right? Look, I noticed, you trying, you consistent. Make sure if you want to. That's not a mandatory thing, right? You don't want to push something a brother doesn't want to do either, right? 'Cause being a trooper, just like coming in here, even being a trooper, it takes a lot of strength to be, to want to grow in the ranks, right? Another thing too, you don't want to push a brother to do something he don't want to do, right? Don't ever push someone to take the oath that we all took in here, right? That's basically a blood oath what we took in here, right? And we take that serious, right? And it's gonna be a hard thing, right? Especially when you come in here and you think you with us, now you're gonna leave and you're gonna do what? You're gonna do drugs. You're gonna be, you're gonna be weak, man. You're gonna destroy yourself. All right, you're gonna destroy yourself. Why? Because you thought you was with it when it came when it came when it came down to when it's like when shit hit the fan, then you ran, you left, right? You left because what? There wasn't enough brothers in here. Why'd you leave? You left because you thought you had more knowledge than the brothers in here. You left because what? Because of selfishness. That's why. Because you thought you knew better. Now you crawling back to the school. Now you crawling back and you thinking what? Oh, man, man, I'm sorry. This and that. We gonna take you in, and right? It's our job to take you in. But just know it's not gonna be that easy. It's first of all you're gonna have to prove yourself. You're gonna start from scratch. You start from bottom, ground up, from the base, from the what? From the dust. You're gonna start from the dust because that's what you in. You're in a condition that you never wanted to be in, right? You heard this truth, you escaped that condition, and you're returning back to that condition. It's like the dog that goes back to that vomit, man. And that's what you are, right? You that dog that returned back to its vomit. You chose selfishness rather than, selflessness, right? Rather than helping your brother, sticking with your brother, right? Sticking with your brother. Man, you're gonna destroy yourself, right? You're gonna destroy yourself. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 8, abstain from strife, and thou shalt diminish thy sins. For a furious man will kindle strife.
Right. So I give for that wink, right? The ignorance, a brother will make a mistake, right? But be patient with the brother that are being ignorant, meaning, that are, you already know, right? Because this is their home, since they've been thrown out of their own family's home, right? Since they've been thrown out of their own family's home, basically everybody rejected him, right? His mother hated him, his rib might have hated him. He came in here, this is his only home, his only hope, I should say, right? And the brother gone through some things. I mean, I don't know if you ever been, starving. You gonna react to 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 your condition, right? So be patient with the brother that comes in here, man. That's why and I don't know if I mean, about him, we all know in here, right? Brothers come in here, brothers leave, right? But at the same time, the brothers that do stay, those are the brothers, the solid brothers that are always gonna rock with you, man. Especially we gonna die, we gonna sweat, we gonna bleed, we gonna get all all that, right? We're gonna go to war for our brother, man. That's the thing about here. Like in the ISUPK, we take that to heart. We take that serious, man. Especially if you in the battlefield, right? And everybody knows what that is, right? When you go to camp, it's like you don't know what can happen, right? You don't know exactly what can happen, and you don't want to have that brother that leaves the camp because there was pressure, there's too much pressure, or because he's seen his boss at the campsite. So like, or because he's seen his girl at the camp, or his camp, his mom or something, because he was too afraid to see someone he recognized at the camp. You know what I mean? That's like if it ever comes to that, I don't even come. Don't even come. Just stay a young man, right? Just stay a young man. Don't even. It's like don't even take this oath, because it just shows how much you just aren't serious about this, right? You're still lukewarm. You're 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're not in this 100%. But the brothers, right, that do take that oath, we mean that shit. We mean that shit with everything we have, because we've gone through so much in this. I don't know about you, right? Whoever's watching, but this is the only place that I feel safe. The only place that I can actually feel like calling home, right? I've been everywhere, right? I've been like that one dog that runs from home and then finds another home, like, and then it's just like, nah, this is my home right here. This is where I feel more safe, more comfortable, more, like it like, come on, like it just restored everything that a man has lost throughout the years of his youth. Like you lose all your integrity, you lose all your honor, because whatever your family you dealt with your family, or whatever you dealt with past relationships or whatnot, right? You lose all that. But when you come in here under the umbrella of the ISUPK, right? When you come in here in the ISUPK under Commander Jerry Hanna, man, the men that are in here, are in here, are trained. Not only that, but are like far above brotherly, like to the extent where it's like, I don't know anybody who would do such things as take off their shoes, so like their boots, to give to a stranger that they might not even see, and literally never come back again, right? Which has happened, right? Give your fresh boots that you've had, right? Give it to a brother who you don't know whether he's gonna come or he's not gonna come back. You're never gonna see him again. Boom, give it to him, and end up not ever coming back, right? Another thing too, you might say so much to this brother to lift up his spirit, and that at the end of the day, he's gonna choose that bitch over you. Now that is like a slap on the face. That's like a disrespect to your brother. You give him this counseling. It's like you give him a wise counseling that you've gone through, and he chose to not listen to you. You're gonna suffer for that. You're gonna suffer so much. You just would prefer to die. You would prefer to die than to go through it, to go through the shame. It's like a stain. It's like it's like a pile of dirty laundry. It just sits there, and it's just it's just disgusting. It's just floating in the air. You can see it, you can smell it. It's just there, and that's what you're gonna feel like. You're gonna feel like disgusted with yourself because of the choices that you chose. You rather choose your own wisdom. So it's like you're rather lean onto your own understanding than to the wisdom of the ISUPK, than to the wisdom of the men in here under Commander Jerry Han.
Right.
I mean, if that's the case, then go ahead. I mean, what can I tell you, right? What can we say to stop you from being a wicked sinner? Well, what can we do? You might as well. I mean, it seems like you love being weak. It seems like you love being you love making excuses for yourself. If that's the case, I mean, keep making as much as of those excuses, and see how much you will lose or gain. Who knows? You might gain something. Maybe a wicked woman. Who knows, right? You might gain that whore, but you ain't gonna gain no brotherhood like in here, man. Right? You ain't gonna gain no better, no greater brotherhood than the men in the ISUPK. And with that, I pass the class over to Police Officer Farak. Should be there.
These are ISUPK security announcements. With the ISUPK start out of 1 West 125th Street, New York. These are the rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to that brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which that brother and sister will court each other. After that 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you'll find this in Numbers, the 18th chapter, the 21st verse. Also in Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, the word tithes means tenth of the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase that the Most High gives you, give it to the Treasury Department or to the teacher. Priest funds, which are free will offerings for the priest, they are not mandatory, but they are whatsoever amount that you would like. Upcoming holy convocations will be the 15th, September 15th, sundown. We'll be having the Day of Atonement. All right, we'll be gathering here. We won't be eating, but we will be gathering here and having a Sabbath service here.
Right.
All right. Also, make sure if you come into our physical location, GPS the school's location to get here, even if you know how to get here. If you're not already, visit the school's website. And if you've not already posted a review of the school on Google. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. That includes black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we'll get the teacher a courtesy salute. Men of Israel Mighty. Men of Israel Mighty Shabbat. Amajim. Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Thumb.
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Thumb.
Yajim Matah.